right, you are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. Why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost today because they suck. The Eagles were 10-1. Now they're 11-6 because they suck. Philadelphia sucks. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Oh, timeout. Oh. Gonna move chair for my buddy right here. Come on, buddy. Come on in, Bill. All right, Randy's here. We can continue. Anybody out there? Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody who's going to spend time watching the replay this. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So as soon as I see something in the chat box, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. In the description box below, the top link, very top link in the description box, takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, also just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'm going to go over that in just a second. The one just underneath it, because I'm an old-time fart, it's a Twitter link. It's Twitter, right? Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm calling it Twitter because it's Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. I usually put Giants-related stuff in a Twitter account basically every day. But as I said, if you follow me on Twitter, I will follow you back. That's a promise. And also, additionally, the link right on top of it, the Facebook link right on top of it, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants of Gridiron. We have over 7,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, especially today after the big time when the New York Giants pulled off. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, I got stuff going in this group darn near 365, right? And not only that, but if you become a member, members post stuff in this group. So between me and the members, there's a boatload. There's a ton. There's a lot of New York Giants information going in this group every day, darn near 365, right? So between me and the members, so if you join the group, you won't be dissatisfied, I promise. All right. So all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, woo, baby, green. It's almost like having your cake really and eating it too, right? I mean, man, love it. Boom, huh? Almost. I mean, if those San Diego Chargers weren't such douchebags, I'll tell you what, we would have the cake and eating it too with the scoop of ice cream. You can. I mean, man, actually winning the game, way down. I mean, we're pick 5, winning the game, and still remain in pick 5. Could you imagine that? But of course, because of the San Diego Chargers, I hope their coach just gets fired. I hope he's gone. I hope he's fired or whatever. No, I hope he's gone right now. Just get out of here. I mean, so we slid back to number 6 because of the San Diego Chargers, but who managed to lose 13-12. They were losing. They had given up 10 points to the Chiefs with about 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Basically, the next 33 minutes, the Chiefs did absolutely nothing. Couldn't score a point. Absolutely nothing. The Chargers kept going down. They kept kicking field goals. Well, finally, they kicked the field goal to go up 12-10 with 2-3 minutes to go in the game, whatever it was. The Chiefs did absolutely nothing for over half a game. Actually, I'm going to show you what he did. Basically, he did absolutely nothing the whole game, right? So with about 2-3 minutes left to go, the Chargers finally get the lead at 12-10. Chiefs get the ball and just walk right down the field, kick the field goal, and win 13-10. But the two things that really just is that there was it was a 10-point, if not quite possibly a 14-point swing on one play, because the Chargers had the ball down. The Chiefs they fumbled the ball at the Chiefs 3-yard line. The guy scoops it up for the Chiefs, runs it back for a touchdown. So the offense did absolutely nothing for the Chiefs. Absolutely nothing. The offense, nothing. So it was basically, I mean, if it wasn't the fumble for the Chiefs, they scooped it up and ran it back 97 yards for a touchdown. The Chargers could have at least gotten a field goal out of that. So, I mean, basically, the Chiefs offense scored 6 points, right? But the other thing that ticks me off is when the Chargers scored their go-ahead field goal with, I forgot what it was, 3-4 minutes to go in the game. They put them up 12-10. Oh, my buddy's leaving. Doesn't want to listen to football anymore. Sorry, pal. But they like second and goal at the 1-yard line. They had 2 plays from like the 1-yard line, and they couldn't score. So they had to kick a field goal. It was like, where is that? Like a 3-yard field goal when you're kicking a field goal from the one. I mean, it's like the shortest field goal humanly possible. They took two plays from the 1-yard line. They couldn't score a touchdown. If they scored a touchdown, right, and maybe they probably would have gone for 2. So, I mean, if they kicked the field goal, maybe gone for, I don't know if they would have gotten it. Then they would have been up 17-10, forcing the Chiefs to score a touchdown and kick an extra point just to send it in overtime. But anyway, they had 2 tries from the 1-yard line, couldn't score. So they had to settle for the go-ahead field goal, put them up 12-10. Chiefs get the ball and just walk right down. But anyway, the one nice thing, I mean, you're not sure how it's going to pan out, right? Is that so now the Giants fall back to number 6 instead of being at 5. That's why the Giants had their cake, and they almost were able to eat it with a scoop of ice cream, right? Vanilla, chocolate, whatever ice cream you want. Eat it, cake, and right? So they almost stayed at 5 because of the douchebag Chargers is what it is. But you don't know because, I mean, the Chargers, ain't looking for no quarterback, right? So we got obviously 5 teams in front of us, right? 2 of them definitely looking for quarterbacks. I mean, we don't know what the Giants are. We're not sure. Shane says Daniel Jones, and there's a little article I got here I'm going to go over in just a minute. Shane, and apparently Jones is attacking this his rehab, just straight. Well, you knew he was without question. He's attacking this thing without question. The way the amount of time he puts in, right? I mean, the man puts in the time. Now, whether you like him, hate him, whatever, whether he's ever going to take the Giants to the promised land, the Giants going to cut him, this, whatever. The man puts in the time. You got to give the man some credit for that. So apparently he's attacking. Apparently he's sitting. I guess he's going. I guess maybe in the indoor facility, whatever. And he's like sitting on a chair, and he's throwing. I think with baseballs and maybe some footballs, he's throwing. He's sitting on a chair. So I guess they don't want him. I guess without crutches or you got to brace whatever, something on. So he's sitting down throwing stuff. So he's attacking this. So if anything if he chance he'll be ready by week 1. He'll be ready by week 1. So Shane did say he'd be ready. I'm sorry. Shane did say when Daniel Jones is ready, he'll be the starting quarterback. And he should be. He should be without question. But you don't know what the Giants are going to do in the draft. I said because we have the Patriots and the Commanders definitely need quarterbacks, right? I said we got the Cardinals, right? Who have Murray. They'll probably want to maybe rock and roll with him. The Chargers got Herbert. They're rocking and roll with him. Then you got the Bears with Justin Fields. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't want to try to rock and roll with him. But get the man some more help, get the man some more weapons, and see what you can do, right? But once again, you have to wait and see. But that doesn't mean the Giants can't move up or whatever. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see. But the Giants won, and they only moved back 1 spot. So all in all, I mean, I'll take it. To move back just 1 spot and beat the Eagles. And it could have been even worse. I mean, of course, good old Crosby. I mean, can't make an extra point, misses a field goal. I mean, that was last week. He missed the extra point, but this week he hits the upright. We get a turnover. Where do we start? Let's see. I'm trying to follow this game here too with the Bills and Dolphins. 14-14. Oh, okay. The Buffalo. All right. 14-14. 12 minutes to go. So where did we start? It was like the 9-yard line or something like that. And then of course, right away we throw an interception. Let's see. Where we had an interception. Wait. Interception. There we go, right? One play. Where were we at? We had the first and 10 at the Eagles 12. I'm sorry, the 12. So we get down to the 12-yard line. Tyrod Taylor pass short, middle, intended for Shepard. Interception by Blankenship. So, you know what I mean? So we easily could have, could have had some more points. Easily could have had, over 30. But you know what? I'm going to take 27-10. I'll take 27. Oh, there, my buddy's back. Take 27-10 anytime. Heck, if we won 27-26, I'd take that. But 27-10, as I said, should have been over 30. Should have definitely been over 30. I mean, could have with the Tyrod's intercept. If we didn't have that, we could have been up 31-0 at halftime. I mean, the beauty of it is that we got Sterling Shepard, and even one of his he had a pass reception taken back. Who was it? Was it Bredesen? I think it was Bredesen. Had a holding penalty. Right. So Shepard, right? He only had 7 receptions all season. They managed to get him 3. So love the guy to death, man. And they introduced him last, right? How freaking awesome was that? How cool was that, huh? Good. Thank goodness, man. I hope he stays in the Giants system doing something, right? But they got him 3 receptions. So 2 to tie Shockey, 3 to go ahead. So now Shockey's number 6, Sterling Shepard's number 5. And you gotta figure, I mean, if Shepard did miss all this time and everything, and basically the reason why he wasn't able to do much of anything this year, I mean, it was like the injuries. It's just the injuries. It just slowed him down. It wasn't like, he just stinks all of a sudden. I mean, I'm sure the injuries really slowed him down. And, he only got 10 receptions this season. But they got him, into the top 5 of all time. As I was saying, is that he played 8 seasons. If he didn't have all these freaking injuries, he certainly would be much higher on the Giants list. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, my goodness here. New York Giants all-time reception. Let's try that. See if that works here. Okay. Oh, wait. Career receiving leaders. Let's see here. See, I don't know if this is going to. Oh, yeah, it's yards. I don't want yards. I want receptions. Okay. Monty Toomer's number 1. Let's see here. So, yeah, so he was like, what, 369? So he was like 300 behind Toomer. He's never going to catch Toomer, even without his injuries. Because, Toomer played, 13 seasons? So he was never going to catch Toomer no matter what. But let's see here. He caught Shockey. So Shepard has 372. Shockey has 371. He easily would have caught. If he had any types of receptions this season, he would have passed Odell Beckham Jr. And if he had any type of season, he would have easily passed Joe Morrison, who was number 3 on the list. So if let's see, what do we got? 372. He would have needed what? 23 more receptions. If they could have found a way to get him 23 more receptions, I know which is a lot since he didn't play much, but if he had 33 receptions, or say 34 for this season, if he would have had 34 receptions, which is not a lot, right? 2 receptions a game, he would have been number 3 all time. He would have been behind Amani Toomer, Tiki Barber, and then it would have been Sterling Shepard. But you know what? He's in the top 5 all time, the New York Giants, as far as receptions. So you gotta appreciate that. You gotta love it. It's a little disappointed, a little bummed out that they weren't able to get Saquon. I mean, I said like halftime, I think he had about 30. What the hell did he wind up with? Like 39. He didn't have many yards in the second half rushing the ball. Then they also had, why they want to put Gray in there? Let's see here. Box score, right? It's box score. Yeah, I mean, they want to put Gray in there. Let's see now here. Gray had 3 on that one. I think it was might have been all in the one drive. He had 3 carries for 19 yards. So he had 18 carries for 46 yards. I think he had, so he wound up about close to about 40 yards short of getting 1,000. They couldn't get him 84 yards. Only got him 46. He had 18 carries though. I'm sure the Eagles were, keying on him quite a bit. But I think he had 29 yards at halftime. So in the second half, he only wound up with like 17 yards rushing. So unfortunately, Saquon fell a little bit short. And he did miss some time this year. So if he was healthy the whole year, I'm sure he would have had his 1,000 yards rushing. But then again, if we had our offensive line, together and all of that the whole season, I'm sure we would have had 1,000 yards. But it is what it is. But I mean, even all in all, the Giants still had 109 yards rushing. But the thing was, what they were able to do against the Eagles was pass the ball. The Giants, even after they only had 2 sacks, they only lost 5 yards, but after the 2 sacks, they still had 306 yards passing. They were able to take advantage of that porous Eagles defense, that secondary, the coverage and all that. And you can pretty much just, wave bye-bye to the Eagles because they're not going anywhere in the playoffs. They might win. Let's see here. I think they're playing the Bucs. Looks like they're playing the Bucs. So we got Cowboys, Packers, right? So the Packers are going to play in Dallas, okay? The Rams are going to go play in Detroit. That could be a good game. That could be a good, interesting game, especially if the Rams got some offense going. If they got all their weapons healthy and all of that. And the Rams actually beat the I think it was like the 13th string for the 49ers today because the game didn't matter after the 49ers. But I said that the interesting thing is that if the 49ers, whoever they rested, right, going to be off for 2 weeks. So their starters didn't play this week. Whoever didn't didn't play this week. Then they got a bye week, and then they got, so let's hope for the 49ers' sake that they don't come out really rusty when they got to play in the divisional round of the playoffs. But then we got the Eagles going to go play in Tampa Bay. So, I mean, Tampa Bay, 9-8, yeah. But they're home, right? They had a big win today. So kudos to them. Kudos to Baker Mayfield's, man. Somebody had to win that division. I was just happy, I guess, that whoever wound up winning the division actually had a winning record, which they did at 9-8. But I said, regardless, if you look at the Eagles, right, the Eagles got to play the Bucs. Just say they beat the Bucs, right? Then the Eagles are going to have to go on the road. And quite possibly the next game out of that, they might have to go on the road and play the 49ers. And then if the Eagles were to win that game, which I can't see them winning both those games, they would have to go on the road and probably win either in Detroit or maybe in Dallas or something like that. Once again, you all got to wait and see and everything. I mean, so the Eagles, because it didn't matter anyway because the Cowboys wound up winning. Right. Bills. There you go. 21-14. Wow. Wow. So let's see. So we got the Dolphins Buffalo is number. So Buffalo wins. Buffalo goes with the Dolphins. And wow. Interesting. So Buffalo took the lead, 21-14. But I said it'd be interesting. Like with it wouldn't have mattered even if the Eagles won because the Commanders, didn't. Actually, the Commanders were winning 10-7, and I'm like, man, we might have ourselves a ball game here. Then it was so the Commanders were up 10-7. It was in the second quarter. I'm like, wow, all right, okay, we're on, baby, here we go. And it was 14-10, 21-10, 28-10, 35-10, 42-10, 49-10, 56-10, 63-10, and then it was halftime. Then it was 70-10, 77-10, 84-10, 91-10, 98-10, 105-10 after the third quarter. Then it was 112-10, 119-10, 126-10, 133-10, 140-10 at the end of the game. So it was 100. So it was 10-7. Commanders up 10-7. Second quarter. By the time the game was over, it was 140-10. So it was a little bit of a blowout. I know, but it wouldn't have mattered if the Eagles won this game anyway, because they were because the Cowboys won, the Eagles are where they are. But this game was also a little more, could be a little more costly also as well to the Eagles, because we have to wait. I'm not sitting here on pins and needles as who got injured for the Eagles, but I mean, DeVonta Smith, last week, he apparently had a boot on and all that stuff. So even if he does play next week, he ain't going to be 100%. I mean, you don't come out of a game limping and all that and have a boot and this, that, and the other thing, and 2 weeks later, you're out there running 135%. Not happening, right? And then, of course, so if he does go out there and he's going to probably aggravate the ankle a little bit even more or whatever. Slay with his knee. If he does play against the Bucs, he won't be 100%. Their secondary stinks, right? They're absolutely just trash. Brown, I don't know. Of course, I was looking in the groups and stuff like that, and people were like, Brown out for the rest of the tore his ACL and stuff like that. You don't know, but he had that. Was it the hip drop tackle when he got tackled? Was it McLeod brought him down? Got him, and I guess they drop his hip, and whatever, and brought him down, and you can see his ankle and whatever leg, and the knee and all that bend backwards a little bit. But you look at it the Eagles have just been blessed. They got Jalen Hurts goes throws a pass, comes off the field. The Eagles never had that. They had. Hurts was it his shoulder last season toward the end of the year? But for the most part, the Eagles are they had a guy or two here, but like their offense, their weapons are all Brown and DeVonta Smith always there. Hurts, Brown, Smith, all the whole game, whole year, all nice and healthy, right? Well, hey, now they got some injuries. Well, I don't wish injuries on anybody, right? But now the Eagles got some injuries. Welcome, brothers. Welcome to it's called the NFL. Come on, baby. Take your injuries with it. Come on. Yeah. Let's see how you do now. You sucked before. You were 10-1. Now you're what? 11-6. Why? Because the Eagles what? Because they suck. Now they got some injuries. Now they got even some more injuries. Well, good luck. God bless trying to win a football game with all your injuries. But the Eagles are, especially with Brown and Smith. And I said, what Hurts with a finger or whatever like that. So, the Eagles are they're playing and they're playing and they lost both their wings and they're spiraling out of control and they just haven't hit the ground yet. They just haven't lost their final game in the playoffs yet. They haven't. So they're about 20 or 30,000 feet spiraling out of control. Ain't nobody stopping them. And it's just a matter of time before they hit the ground. And erupt. So, but I tell you what, you got to give the Giants a lot of credit. They went out, on top this game. Up 24-0. It's just like, it was like early on to kick the field goal. It's like, damn, all right, Giants 3-0. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, at least the Giants won't get shut out. Okay, cool. Then it's like 10-0, 17-0. It's like, what the is going on here? 24-0. And then, of course, we get the turnover, and then Tyrod gives it right back. Yeah, but it could have been 31-0. I'm like, could have been 31-0. Wow. But I said, but you know what? In the long run, 27-10 is pretty impressive. We had some, when was the last time we actually out-sacked the Eagles? We had 5 sacks. The Eagles had 2. We only lost 5 yards on sacks. We had over 400 yards of offense. Just a dominant, nice. Where was this team at all year, right? Really. Let's see here. What do we got here? Tyrod, 23 out of 30, 297 yards. If you take the 1 sack out, he actually had over 300 yards passing. 9.3 yard average. Wow. I mean, it's very impressive. Per pass attempt, 9.3 yards per pass attempt. Very, very impressive. What we got here? He had the one interception, right? His quarterback rating, well, it's by ESPN, was a 98. Of course, Tommy Chicken Cutlets, 2 out of 2. But we had 109 yards rushing, right? And we held them well, if you take the sacks out, we held the Eagles to a mere 166 yards passing. I mean, just fantastic. Just love it. 2 interceptions. I mean, how about Micah McFadden had a big game. I think Okarike, I think he had 141 tackles. So according to ESPN, that's all I'm going by here. They gave him 8 tackles, so he might have 149. But Micah McFadden, he went up with 9. So I think he had 9 tackles was going to give him something. Was either going to give him 100 or 110 for the season or something like that. I don't know if I can find his stats here. Regular season, 92 for the season. Was that it? See, actually, it's 92. That may not include the day. We had 9. Oh, I don't know. I thought he had 90 something going into this game. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he should have 100 tackles for the season, Micah McFadden. So I mean, he's got like these roller coaster kind of games. You know, he had some. I mean, he's missed. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when I go over the tomorrow. When I go over the team and player grades from PFF and see how many missed tackles he went up. He's had 25 missed tackles this season, which is not very good at all. There was a stretch there where he had like 3 out of 4 games during the regular season where he was like either like graded out at like 88 or 89. One game he was over 90. Then he had a couple games where he's like grading out like a 40 or 50. It's like, you know, so he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's either like way up here, you know. But he had a good game, real good game. I mean, man, it's just so refreshing, so refreshing. Let me see what the Bills. Trying to keep my eye on this one. The Bills got it 4th and 1 at their own 35, 4:42. Yeah, they're holding the Dolphins. I'll tell you, it's a defensive struggle, 21-14. Bills had to score 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter to take the lead, though. So, you know, I mean, but holding the Dolphins, I'm not sure if the Dolphins are out of the playoffs. If they lose, somebody said they were out of the. I find that hard to believe. If they go 11-6, I find it hard to believe they'd be out of the playoffs. Maybe 11. No, they can't be. 11-6, 10-6, 10-6. No, No, I think they'll go back. It looks like they'll go down to like number 5 or number 6 or something like that because the Steelers are 10-7. So if the Dolphins are 11-6, the Dolphins will be in the playoffs. Yeah. Well, actually, the Dolphins would have been, out of the playoffs. I think if this, let's see, the Steelers. No, I don't know. But I mean, the Dolphins got to be in the playoffs. That's just that they won't have the home field advantage. They'll be going on the road, so which won't be good for them. But they still got some time. Looks like, wow, the Bills went for it. Josh Allen up the middle for 2 yards. So they went for it. Their own 35-yard line, 4th down. They went for it. They got picked up the 1st down. So now there's going to be less than 4 minutes left to go. Josh Allen, 10 carries, 53 yards. So they're going to try to run down the clock here and all. If they get a couple 1st downs, this game's over. So we'll just have to wait and see. But tell you what, very Xavier McKinney, man, was that a pretty interception or what? Man, I mean, there's just so much good came out of this game. I mean, man, that was, you know, the just get that and get both feet in bounds, Belton, right? Interception. I mean, just such a good game. Such a good game. As I said, we didn't really need to run the ball. As I said, you know, with a backup quarterback in there. And then, of course, Tyrod got injured once again. So he had to go out, comes back in and all. But, I mean, over 300 yards passing against this Eagles team. I mean, unfortunately, was it Hyatt got injured, hamstring. But then again, it's let's hope that that's not a sign of things to come in the years to come and all of that with him. But thankfully, at least he got injured. It was on the final game of the season, so because he only had the one reception, right? But at least with his hamstring. At least anyway, that's what I saw anyway. At least he's not going to be injured for like and out for a multiple bunch of games, right? It's just because obviously, sadly, unfortunately, it's the end of the season. But excuse me, guys, excuse me. But at least another one of the things, okay, that is so important about this win is that what you wanted to see, right? You wanted to see, what improvement, right? But also the big thing, what you wanted to see was being competitive in your own division. Last season we were 1-4-1, right? Now the 2 games against the Cowboys last season, we were winning both those games. I think going into the fourth quarter, I know we were winning both those games in the third quarter. The one game at home, I think the one in Dallas, we were winning at halftime, and then Dallas scored 3 touchdowns in a row or something like that. But going into the third quarter, I mean, the one when Barkley scored at home, put the Giants up. We might have been leading that one maybe into the fourth quarter. And I said, and then at halftime of the Cowboy game last season in Dallas, we were winning. So going into the third quarter, the Giants were winning. So, I mean, the Giants, we were far behind, but we were finding ways to stay close with them, right? And we lost 2 tough games to the Cowboys last season. So you kind of figure that maybe hopefully this, because we added, a lot of spots. We added, depth. We added some talent in a lot of spots. And also you kind of figure that we closed the gap. Well, we really didn't close much of a gap. It just seems like with our injuries and everything like that, it seems like we lost. But you can certainly say that the Giants, have gained on the Eagles. With all the injuries we had, the backup quarterback in there, said a couple weeks ago, we barely lose to the Eagles. I mean, if the see no penalty referee that was out there calls a penalty on Wan'Dale Robinson, the pass interference, the guy doesn't turn around, knocks Wan'Dale down to the ground. They throw a flag on that one, but of course the Eagles paid the refs. The NFL paid the refs. Got to make sure the Eagles win. But and then we get the ball down, and maybe Tyrod throws in a touchdown. And of course, as I said, we I guess it still would have been tough for the Giants to win that game. But anyway, with all the injuries we had, our backup quarterback, and then going to Philly, only lose by 1 score. Very impressive. Unlike, last season when we lost, 38-7 in the playoff game, was it 48-20? We lost last year at home to the Eagles. We got blown out. I mean, we weren't even, totally annihilated. But I said, with the Leonard Williams not there, we traded him away. Had some injuries. The offensive line was decimated. We got a second string. He went out and had to bring our third string quarterback in. Right, all these injuries and everything like that, and we wound up kicking their butts, the Eagles' butts. I mean, really. So for the Giants to actually finish 3-3 in the division, right? Well, so we wound up, 6-11. So we were 9-7-1, so we came back to 6-11, but we had a harder schedule. There was a few games in there the Giants got, a play here. I mean, the Jet game, the Jet game is one of those games you're going to look at 300 years from now. Like, remember that Jet game in 2020? Remember Graham Gano had a 3-yard field goal. He missed it. And then, of course, the Jets didn't do nothing all game long, and they had 4 seconds left to go. So somehow in 4 seconds, they completed 2 85-yard passes to get into field goal range. tie the game up. And remember that, Jay? Man, that's the game. You're going to remember that one forever. But I mean, the Bill game, right? The holding on Darren Waller should have been a penalty where he gave the Giants first down. Or if Tyrod Taylor doesn't switch to a run play at the end of the first half where Saquon gets stopped and the clock runs out, at least if we kick a field goal and get some points there, maybe we win that game. So the Giants easily could have won a couple more games this season, easily. And with all the injuries we had, could have won a couple more games. The Giants could have easily had 7 or 8 victories. I mean, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a season. Heck of a season. Obviously, it's not what you wanted because – we were 9-7-1 last season, went to the playoffs, won a playoff game, got to the divisional round for the first time since Jesus Christ walked the earth. And we added talent in a lot of spots. We should have been a better team, but obviously with the tougher schedule. But, all things considering, it's, whether you like it or not, you got to give the Giants a lot of credit. They fought. There was some bad games, some bad blowouts and all, but you got to give the Giants some credit. They fought hard. And just put the final game of the season just to wind up beating the Eagles, 27-10 at home. Just man, absolutely beautiful. You got to give a lot of credit. As I said, we only fell back one draft spot. Right, so now we're picking 6th, and there'll be somebody there. The thing is, what you don't know, obviously, is how serious they're talking about. Daniel Jones is going to be our starting quarterback next season. So I'm sure they're serious about that. But then, how serious are they about the long-term future of Daniel Jones? Do they envision him leading this team? Paul, what they saw from him this season. Right? He was kind of like a deer in the headlights a lot of times, right? With that porous offensive line. Do they think he's the guy going forward for maybe years to come? Do they maybe take one of those tackles? Because you look at it, right? You figure, a couple quarterbacks will be taken in front of them. It's a little too early right now to try to figure out who's going to come and go and all of that as far draft-wise. But, probably – Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably going to be gone. Maybe one of those tackles might be gone. Do the Giants get a chance at one of those 2 tackles? Once again, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we got 4 months. Not quite. No, not about 3.5 months. 3.5 months is going to be draft day. 3.5 months. And about 2 months is free agency, right? Like the middle of March. So today's the 7th. So a little over 2 months is going to be free agency. Holy cow. A little over 2 months, and we're starting this thing all over again. Absolutely freaking amazing. But I'll tell you what, let me what do we got here? Buffalo, 4th and 1. The 2-minute warning. Right, they're 4th and 1 on the Miami 37. So probably not going to kick a field goal. That would be well, if they went for 4th and 1 at their own 35 or whatever it was, they're probably going to go for 4th and 1 here. If they go for 4th and 1, Josh Allen sneaks it again and makes it. The game's over because Miami only has, I think, 1 timeout left. Looks like, or they don't have any timeouts left. Miami used them all, so Miami has no timeouts left. Okay, and so the Bills, all the Bills have to do is looks like they're a quarterback sneak away for winning the AFC. The AFC East division. Quarterback sneak away. It looks like they're still at the 2-minute warning. So I'm just following on my computer here because I'm not watching it on the TV. But the Dolphins were up 14-7 in the 4th quarter. Actually, they're up 14-7 at halftime. Nobody scored in the 3rd. So going into the 4th quarter, the Dolphins were up 14-7. They're at home, right? They got the better record. They win or tie, they're the division champs, and then all roads go, at least the first 2 rounds, as long as they keep winning, the Dolphins keep winning at home, the games would be played in Miami, right? And it's a pretty nice atmosphere there, as I said, because a couple of weeks ago, my son and I, when the Cowboys were in Miami, we were down there, and it's a pretty nice atmosphere in Miami. Great stadium, beautiful stadium, Hard Rock, but I mean, the Dolphins up 14-7 at home in the 4th quarter. Buffalo took a timeout. Okay. But as I said, the Dolphins just could have held that lead. They could have won the division. But Buffalo's 4th and 1 right now at the Miami 37. Dolphins have no timeouts left. If Buffalo goes for a sneak here and they get it, they'll win the division. And the Dolphins kind of, let's see, what did the Dolphins? I mean, the Dolphins. Let's see, what did they do here? Whoops, Bills. They lost to the Ravens. Yeah. Oh, they had that crushing loss at home to the Titans. I mean, that one, they'll have a hard time living that one down. They gave up 2 touchdowns in the final 3 minutes of the game or something, whatever it was, to the Titans. And they lost that one, 28-27. That's a heartbreaker right there. That one basically didn't want to say cost them the season, but that one might have cost them the division. That loss at home against the Titans when they were up 27-14 with 3 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go in the game. 27. They gave up 2 touchdowns in the final 3 or 4 minutes of the game at home to the Titans. That one cost them the division. But then they lost. They got killed to the Ravens. Last week was a 56-19. And now here. Once again, even though they lost to the Ravens, right? The Ravens took the number 1. Game over. Yeah, up the middle for no gain. Oh, no, the Dolphins. Oh, no, the Dolphins. Josh Allen up the middle for no gain. So they stopped them. Wow. Okay. All right. They stopped them. Interesting. All right. So now the Dolphins got the ball. 1st and 10. At their own 37-yard line, 1:53 to go in the football game, and they have no timeout. So they got there's all the time in the world. They got to go 63 yards in 1:53. They don't need any timeouts. They got all the time in the world, but they haven't scored at all in the second half. They scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, so they haven't scored a point in the first quarter, the third quarter, or fourth quarter. All right, so Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill. Pushed out 7 yards, so he stopped the clock. Let's see, what do we got here? Box score. Where's Tyreek Hill? What does he have here? He's adding to his league lead. He has 75 yards receiving and a touchdown, 6 receptions. So he's adding to his league lead yardage. Man, what a freaking nature that guy is, that Tyreek Hill. Holy cow, is he freaking good. So we got 2nd and 3, Miami 44. And he got pushed out of bounds. It's 1:40. Another pass completion to Smythe for 6 yards and a first down. Micah Hyde with the tackle. So I guess the clock is running. Got 1:40, 1:35 to go, but they're at midfield. And it'd be interesting to see if they actually do score a touchdown. Do they go for 2 for the win, or they try to tie it up and go into overtime with the extra point? If they score a touchdown, of course. But like I said, I mean, the Dolphins, they have they actually have a very, very hard schedule. I mean, toward the end, they played the Cowboys, they played the Ravens, and now they're playing the Bills. So they had a hard schedule here at the end there. Now, what do we got? Penalty on Buffalo Jackson, defensive pass interference, 10 yards and forced it to 50, no play. Okay. So now they're down to the 40. 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 40. Wow. All right, well, certainly making it interesting. So Buffalo went for it, 4th down and 1. If they kicked the field goal, a 54-yard field goal, 55-yard field goal, the game would probably be over. If they made the quarterback sneak, or if they punted the ball, the Dolphins would have the ball at deep inside their own, probably down maybe their 10-yard line or so, whatever. But because they didn't go for it, because the Bills went for it, at the Dolphins, 35 or so, and didn't make it on 4th down. The Dolphins had some pretty good field position. So Tunga deep pass to Hill, incomplete. So now it's 2nd down, 2nd and 10 at the Buffalo 40. But going back to the Giant game here, I'll tell you what, this is sorry, buddy. Really just a big win. It's certainly something. You really can't, because the teams are always, going to be different next year. Unfortunately, this is the last game of the season. I mean, it's amazing how fast time flies by. I don't know if I said that right, but Yeah, it seems like we were just getting ready to kick off against the Cowboys about a week or two ago, week 1. Let's go, baby. We got the cat right. And here it is, 18 weeks later. Season's over with. Giant season's over with. But in a way, you can, obviously there's something. Oh, interception. Oh, man. Tua. Deep left to Claypool. Intercepted. Looks like Buffalo's ball. Game over. Buffalo wins the AFC East. Dolphins wind up, I guess, with wild card, with a record of 11-6 wild card. Wow. The Dolphins were 7-1 at home. Now they'll be 7-2. So the Bills, they will look like they were out of it. Out of the division race, losing, almost lost to the Giants. They had let's see here. Got to give them some credit. What do they got here? They won 1, 2, 3. They won their final 5 games. They lost a tough one in Philly to have 6 losses, and they rattled off 5 straight wins. Got to give them a lot of credit. They lost 24-22 to the Broncos. They lost a tough one to the Bengals. Somehow they lost 29-25 to the Patriots. Somehow they let the Patriots score 29 points. The Patriots haven't scored 29 points combined the whole season, and somehow the Bills let them score 29 points on them. And as I said, they had a tough loss. I think that was in overtime to the Eagles. The Bills even actually had the lead, I think. They let the Eagles walk down the field right at the end of the game, I think, tie it up, and then they lost it in overtime. But you got to give the Bills a lot of credit here. They rattled off 5 straight victories at the end of the season, and it looks like the game is going to be over. Yep. Josh Allen kneels at the Buffalo 21 for -1 yards. Yep. Game is over. Buffalo Bills. So it looks like the Dolphins slide back. Let me see if I can figure this out here. 2023 NFL playoff pictures. I don't know. Fox Sports. I'm not sure if it's going to be. Nope. Yes, and because the game's still going on. So it looks like the Dolphins are going to go back to probably. Well, the Dolphins will be left. So I don't know if the Dolphins are going to slide back to number 5 or number 6. That I don't know. So it looks like the Bills and the Steelers are going to be playing each other. Don't overlook the Steelers, right? Then you have the Dolphins will be playing maybe the Chiefs or the Texans. And then you have the Browns is going to play the Chiefs or the Texans. So got some good games coming up. Of course, the Ravens, they're 13-4. They'll be nice and rested. And then in the NFC, you got the 49ers who had their 13-string players in there. Took a loss to the Rams. Basically, they helped the Rams win this game and get a chance to make the playoffs at 10-7. Had the 49ers at home played their actual players, right? They probably would have beaten the Rams, and the Rams would have finished with a record of 9-8. And I'm not sure if they would have made the playoffs or not. That I'm not sure. But so next week, we're going to have the Cowboys and the Packers, right? We're going to have the Green Bay is going to be playing in Dallas. Los Angeles Rams are going to be playing in Detroit, and the Eagles are going to go to Tampa Bay. That's in the NFC. Now, as I said, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here in the AFC, where how far down the Dolphins are going to slide. But it looks like the Bills with a record of 11-6. Oh, it has the Chiefs at 10-6 too. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. That I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But I said once again, this is something that you definitely wanted to see. The Giants definitely have closed the gap on the Eagles. And you also look at it too. You figure because once Jalen Hurts' salary starts going up and up and up, and you can say bye-bye to some more of his players. DeVonta Smith in a year or so, he's going to want to start getting paid, right? Jalen Hurts, they're kind of masking his salary right now. Howie Roseman, the wheeler and the dealer that he is with the Eagles GM, but he's kind of like masking his salary for a year or so, whatever. But Jalen Hurts' salary is going to start going up. You give the guy $250 million, whatever, for 5 seasons. Yeah, somewhere along the line, you got to start paying the piper. They lost a lot of guys on defense last season, after last season, and you can tell their defense stinks. And, they're going to be, they're going to be hurting. They're going to be a good team next season. I don't think Sirianni's a very good coach. So as long as they still have him, if he doesn't get some really good coordinators in there, I think they're in some trouble. And I absolutely love it because I can't stand the Eagles. But this is such a huge win for the Giants. Just not a win. They got into 3-3 in their own division, right? So they know they're better than the Commanders, right? And the Commanders might be looking for a new coach. And with Eric Bieniemy, he might even be gone. So they might even be looking for another offensive coordinator. They will be drafting a quarterback. So there's a possibility maybe in the years to come, we might be facing against Caleb Williams 2 times a season for the next 10 years or so. So that you have to keep an eye out for that. Okay, so, but I mean, as of right now, we are better than the Commanders. I'm not going to say we're better than the Eagles, but we closed the gap. Right? If you look at the 2 collective scores, both games combined, the Giants scored more points than the Eagles did combined, head-to-head, the 2 games. Right? So you can say we really closed the gap on the Eagles. And he said, especially if we get everybody back next season, we're healthy, and we add some 3 good studs. I'm saying the 1st-round pick and our 2 second-round picks, 3 good studs, and maybe get a guy in or so on free agency, right, to fill in. Maybe get an offensive line coach who can actually coach and develop some players, right? And the Giants, even with that, we'll compete next season without question. We're not going to a Super Bowl next season, but I think maybe in a couple of seasons. I think give Shane like this year's draft, give him another draft, right? One of the things that that could possibly work out for the Giants' favor too is that if somebody wants to jump up with the Giants at number 6, because there's some quarterback needy teams behind the Giants. If somebody wants to jump up and trade with the Giants at number 6 and the Giants slide back 4, 5, 6 spots or something and get the other team's 1st-round selection and grab a 2nd-round pick or something like that, or another 1st and a 3rd or 1st and 2/3 or something like that, get some more picks, that would be huge for the Giants because you figure, we have some holes right now. We're losing guys who are free agents who aren't going to be coming back, right? And then we need depth, right? So we got, we got a nice little laundry list of stuff that we need, right? What better, to do that? I mean, if Shane wants to rock and roll with Daniel Jones and is convinced that we don't need a quarterback, we can always take a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round. Let's, and maybe develop them if they think that's something they can possibly do. Or if worst comes to worst, be the quarterback that goes. We have Tommy Chicken Cutlets maybe on the practice squad. Draft the quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round or so. Maybe try to develop him. Maybe he would be the backup and rock and roll with Daniel Jones. But if they think they can rock and roll with Daniel Jones, as I said, pick 6, maybe slide back, grab another draft pick or 2. Early draft picks, that could be huge. But I think the Giants have like 5 picks in the top 100, 105 or so this draft. I mean, so we get some good ball players. So this draft here, and then next season's draft, and then also in 2025, right, we'll have some salary cap space, right? We can probably bring in, maybe get that dog wide receiver. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? I mean, have Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe Hyatt, Hodgins, Slayton, right? And then get yourself a dog, right? Wide receiver. That would be huge. Huge. Right? But as I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see because now the clock is ticking, right? And the dominoes are going to start falling. But was it Black Monday or whatever it is? I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, as I'm speaking, there could be coaches getting fired right now, and I'm just not aware of it. But by tomorrow, the coaches are going to start falling. And Dable's safe. He ain't going nowhere. The thing is with the Giants, it's not so much like the head coach. It's like other assistant coaches. Is Kafka going to be gone? Are they firing him? Is he just going to leave and go someplace else? What are they doing with Wink? Bobby Johnson. Let's hope that guy is gone. It's going to be interesting these next couple weeks or whatever. Not only so much, who's coming and going, right? I mean, because you figure if somebody wants to talk to Wink about a head coaching job, well, that could go on for the next couple weeks, right? But not only so much letting the guys go, but who you bringing in to replace these guys as well, too. So, the next couple of weeks will be very, very interesting. But I'll tell you what, all things considering, you gotta feel pretty happy. I mean, this is a heck of a way to go out. Thankfully, I tell you, this is like the exact opposite of how the season started. Losing 40-0 at home in the rain to the Cowboys, when you thought maybe this could be a real good season for the Giants, and you lose 40-0. To start the season like that, but to end it like this, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles at home convincingly, 27-10. And after this game was over, Giants with a second and third string quarterback in there, all the injuries they had. After they walked off the field, you're like, wow, Giants were the better team. The Giants were the better football team. It wasn't like there was, miracle in the Meadowlands where Jalen Hurts tried to hand the ball off and a bounce and Kayvon scoops it up and runs 30 yards for a touchdown to win the game. No. You're like, damn, Giants kicked their ass. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been saying that too much, especially with the Giants and Eagles, right? But so not only that, but, just to be 3-3. Got improvement in your own division, and that's huge. So it's tough because every season is different. Every season's got its own flavor to it, and what is it? I don't know, whatever it's going to be. 30% of the guys that are on the roster right now won't be on the roster next season. Unfortunately, you got such a huge turnaround. So this season has its own characteristics and flavor and everything to it. So this season's over with, and it's tough to say that, okay, well, we'll just build on this season. We'll take this team and carry it into next year, and we'll just build. It's tough to say that, really tough. I mean, every year is its own flavor. Every year is a different season. Every year is different guys, different circumstances, different events, all this stuff, and everything happens. The injuries will be different to different players, and it's going to affect the Giants in different ways. We're going to have different coaches, but at least the end of the season, right, with this regime, with the Dable, Shane regime, with Wink and the defense, very good job today. Very, very good job today. We finished 3-3 in the division. So, I mean, you can't really complain about that. But, I mean, just the end of the season, beating the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10. Man. And I said, you only fell back one spot. So now we're still picking number 6, which we can still get ourselves a really good ball player. So have faith in Shane and company and everything like that, and everything will work out fine. So I'll be back tomorrow doing the final team and player grades for the 2023 NFL season. But I'll tell you what, man, what a great way. Just a great feeling to end the season, beating the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10. Yes. Thank you, Giants. Thank you. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys. That's a final review of the 2023 NFL season. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants.